Okay. Hello. Starting this thing. Oh yeah, we're sick. Okay, we're doing the thing now. Let's see. Yeah, there's me. Just checking if we're live here, folks. Checking if everything's kosher. Hello to everybody who might be watching. Yeah, we're just getting this thing started here. Ah, there we go. We got some viewers. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to see you today. My name's Dustin Cormier, and welcome to How to Rock Spirit. Today's episode, we are going to be chatting about, well, we've done an episode that we just did with, at the end of this video, you'll be able to see our video of Jupiter-ruled Sagittarius and Pisces Sun coming through the sign of the rabbit. And you're going to see a link to that at the end of this video. But today's video is about Pisces Sun in the Year of the Rat energy, done by yours truly. My name's Dustin Cormier. Nice to see ya. I like to show this picture just because this is the energy that's giving you this information. And I also like to point out that the rabbit energy that we're talking about, the Sagittarius is, the Pisces, it's specifically related to the sun. If you got the sun in Pisces and you have any emphasis of the rabbit, then this video is for you. That could mean that you're born in the year of the rabbit. It could mean that you're born in the month of the rabbit. And it could mean that you're born in the day of the rabbit. And also the hour, too. I just didn't have the hour there. You could have the rabbit in any of those placements, and it will ring true and important as a part of the energy field that you ought to digest and integrate in order to affect your greatest self-realization, not only of your Chinese chart, but also of your Western chart. You could have the sun in Pisces, and wherever Jupiter is in your chart, if it's positively placed, it will help you to expand on and express the energies of your Pisces sun, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Neptune is a secondary one, in my opinion, in the Vedic opinion. But no matter how your Western chart works out, generally, if you've got a good Jupiter and a good sun for a Pisces sun, then you will be able to deal with your rabbit energy positively as well. But the interactions of your rabbit sign with the other pillars of your Chinese chart are also their own thing to consider and to figure out. So you could have a well-placed Jupiter and Sun in your Western chart, but if you've got a tough placement of the rabbit energy in your Chinese chart, then you'll have a hard time dealing with that important dynamic of your energy field. For example, if you're born in the year of the rabbit and you have a yang metal daymaster, the yang metal nature is it cuts the wood energy of the rabbit. So this might cause a little bit of frustration for the expression of your rabbit energy. But so these are all things to consider when we're talking about Chinese astrology in relation to Western. I always like to say that there's no science. Part of the reason why I'm doing these videos is because there's no science for how the Western chart relates to the Chinese chart. All we can do is see the themes of the rabbit and intuitively integrate what they mean for the themes of Pisces Sun and for the Jupiter rulership of the Pisces Sun. And there is a bit of a confluence here. Jupiter and the rabbit is said to be pure wood energy, just pure wood energy. And the wood energy in Chinese astrology is ruled by the planet Jupiter. So there's a bit of a confluence going on there. As usual, feel free to leave a comment, and I will check out the comments as often as I can, see if you've contributed anything, and if I can speak to any of the comments that you've made, then I will. And we'll have a little, I like to keep these things like with a community vibe and not just me squawking about these readings. But for today, we're going to talk about 3 readings in particular, coming from 3 different books, as relates to the nature of Pisces Sun coming through the energy of the rat. The rabbit. The rabbit or the cat. That's what I meant to... Bleh. Korean astrology calls the year of the rabbit the year of the cat. And the reason is because there's a relationship of the rabbit with the rat. They're square to each other. They have a very similar nature, but it's in different directions. So that's why Korean culture calls the year of the rabbit the year of the cat, because then the cat and the rat are like Tom and Jerry. They're always working something out between them. Usually it relates to being the person in their chosen group who is taking in all the information and directing the group towards a certain orientation. Pisces Rabbit is probably this dreamy type of personality who has a strong sense of emotional and also like a sense of beauty and the sense of how humans ought to work together in a diplomatic and compassionate and empathic way. And the Pisces Rabbit probably just tries to get away from all confrontation. Now, when you have a rat in the group, the rat loves confrontation. The rat is like a pushy energy that says, like, this is how our group is going to get along best. So the rat will come along and say, all right, everybody, trust me. If we push that other group and stick our elbows out and just kind of just use this aggressive energy, we'll really get somewhere with our group, because you got to be martial, and sometimes you got to have some animal instinct. The whole rat, monkey, dragon all think like that. And so the rat will try to move the group around to that directive, and the cat will sort of be like, no, we got something better that we can do. We got something more sophisticated and intellectual and intelligent and refined, so that we don't need to resort to that gross way of being. And the rat's like, oh, don't be such a fucking wuss, to the rabbit. And then they get into a thing. It's the cat and the rat, right? So that's kind of where the name of the year of the cat comes from in regards to the rabbit. Now today we're talking about Pisces Rabbit. The Pisces Rabbit is probably someone who's very good at convincing the group of going towards the path of least resistance, emotionally and physically and ergonomically too, but mostly on an emotional level. The Pisces rat will be a very good diplomat within the group, of being a catalyst for the proper expression and communication of mutual interests within the group, and explaining to everybody how each person's individual things to bring to the table are all useful to all of us. Let's all love and use our abilities to the best potential, because we're all beautiful. That's kind of a Pisces rabbit vibe, although the rabbit is still sophisticated. The rabbit doesn't like to seem too much of like that wuss energy. They like to kind of seem like, I'm pretty smart at this, guys. They won't like push anybody to do anything. They'll just kind of sit back and be, every now and then, it's like they're like the quiet person in the room who doesn't say much, but when they do say something, it really is like, oh wow, that was really deep. And so they don't put themselves as aggressive or pushy or anything like that. They want people to know that when they say their little things, just, I got a pretty good idea that this is going to happen between these people. And if you listen to the Pisces Rabbit, you'll learn that their insight was very deep and well thought out in an emotional, intuitive way. And that's how they get ahead. They also get ahead by sympathizing with other people. And we talked about in our video that we just did, the Jupiter-ruled Sagittarius and Sun, Pisces Sun coming through Rabbit. Pisces Rabbit will be very good at currying favor with various people, with various groups too. And they'll have a selfless serving quality, but they won't make themselves look like they're like completely under anybody's foot. The rabbit is very interested in sophistication and making themselves look confident and you know, that they can very positively contribute to any group. They're ambitious, the rabbit. And the Pisces is just this soft character that has just a very good sense of showing like a genuine softness. The genuine softness of Pisces, really it works well for rabbit. It takes away a lot of the cunning maliciousness that people often associate with the rabbit. Because the rabbit is this cat that wants to kind of just like be seen as someone who's well loved and hugely admired and just gets on top of everybody with its great capacity to be loved by lots of people and to serve lots of people and to be on everybody's good side. That's very much Pisces Sun rabbit. And that works very well for the rabbit because part of how rabbit survives is they say that, I've said this a million times, but for people who are new to this video, rabbit has many holes dug. So that when a predator finds the rabbit's hole, the predator comes along and says, I smell a rabbit here, and he's going to come around. So when that rabbit comes around, I'm going to eat him. The rabbit sees that coming from miles away, and they come, and it's like, oh, there's the tracks of a predator leading to my house. And especially the Pisces rabbit, especially emotionally, they're always looking to get away from confrontation however they can. And so the rabbit comes along, sees the trail of a predator, and is like, oh, time to go somewhere else, bye. And they've got many other holes dug in case that happens, meaning they've got different groups that they're loved by because they selflessly give themselves to people and to groups for a long time. And it's Pisces, so it is, most of the time, it's coming from just a genuine place of like empathy, and it's just that self-sacrifice and surrender that we know about the 12th house Pisces energy, the Neptune energy. But what it does ultimately is it curries great favor from various sources. So that whenever the Pisces rabbit has some catastrophe happen to them, they've generally got someone, various people, whose couch they can crash on, or who will come to them to aid them when they have to push a boulder or push an emotional boulder, or because they get on everybody's good side. They're like this Switzerland vibe, and they're just so willing to help people that everyone won't really want to harm the rabbit once something kind of happens, because the Pisces just has a genuine concern for their own peace and for everybody else's, and they work to develop everyone else's peace as well. The cat, it's the rabbit combination that comes in with this, with a suave, sophisticated personality of someone who is, it's the genuine Pisces niceness, but the rabbit doesn't want you to think that it's like a wuss, like I said. The rabbit does not want to seem like a pushover. The rabbit is very concerned with its own sort of glory and honor and saving face, and it's aware of mammal vibrations and conquest and interests, and like it's the rabbit that will have a consciousness of like when someone is much bigger and just is like this mammal sort of like bully, the rabbit is always looking for ways to set up a trap to make them trip and then go, yeah, you know, he really wasn't as big and fucking great as everyone thought he was he? You know, like throughout high school, the rabbit person might find a way to trick a bully and make him fall flat on his face, and then they'll come around and be like, gee, wow, can you believe that just happened to Dawn or whoever, this guy? And then they go to the girls and everyone is just like, wow, did you guys see that? You know, and they really, that's how the rabbit kind of rolls. They don't like direct confrontation, but they often get the last laugh. Now, consider this energy relating to the Pisces. The Pisces is this nice person who actually is empathic and loves to help people, and they genuinely do. But they don't like, the rabbit is concerned with making themselves actually be stuck under someone's psychic thumb, or they don't want the Pisces to go so wildly out there that they lose their own ability to adapt and to be a powerful contributor to the group consciousness. They don't want to seem like a pushover, but they do want to selflessly serve, to curry favor, so that whenever anything happens, the rabbit knows that, the Pisces rabbit knows that they did a favor for this person. So when this person has an issue with the rabbit, the person is soft with them. You know, that's very much Pisces rabbit consciousness. And it can take them very far. So the Pisces rabbit is a pretty strong combination in this way. Although they don't like confrontation, and they have a hard time dealing with direct confrontation. Also, the Pisces rabbit might have troubles with being on everyone's good side. When there comes a point when other people's various groups' bad sides come out, it's like, all right, rabbit, which side are you on? And they tend to be the diplomatic Switzerland, and they're very good at ultimately being like, look, I'm not putting myself in any one of these directions. I know you've got good qualities in your direction, and I praise you for those, but I'm not going to completely go on your side, because I also understand and see the goodness of this person and his point. And they stay away from it all, from choosing a side. And ultimately, for Pisces rabbit, it comes through pretty well. We're going to read about the fact that it works well for them, especially if they've got a well-situated Jupiter. But if they've got like Jupiter debilitated in Capricorn, for example, they might think in this emotional way to save themselves, which ultimately damages the Capricorn. It damages what is logically the best for the competition of our group, you know? Capricorn energy is this sort of competitor energy, and it's that 10th house energy, and it has to be a little bit pushy in order to compete with other competitors in the market of whatever the group is dealing with. So if you've got Pisces Sun with Jupiter debilitated in Capricorn, you might think so emotionally and expansively with regard to your Jupiter, trying to keep everybody happy, that because of the Jupiter that's debilitated in Capricorn, you'll expand in an emotional way, which is ultimately damaging and debilitating to the group the hard material world needs of the group. And that's something that Pisces rabbit has to watch out for with its non-confrontational way. So that was a big spiel on my part. In this video, as I said, we're going to read from 3 different texts with regard to this Pisces rabbit consciousness. And we're going to see how they all describe this energy. First thing I'm going to do, though, I'm going to say hello to you folks. Is this happening again? I don't know if anyone's made any comments, but I gotta do this every now and then. This is my computer's making this happen lately in particular. But I kind of have to like log on to YouTube every single time I want to see any comments. Ah, so there was no comments. Now I just look like an asshole. Great! It's all good. But feel free to leave any comments, because I do love to make these videos more than just me blabbing. Feel free to make a comment, and I'll do what I can to answer as we go along. Now, our first reading comes from the Handbook of Chinese Horoscopes by Theodora Lau and Laura Lau. This is Pisces Sun with the year of the rabbit. Piscean water nourishes wood here and produces an imaginative and impressionable personality. Again, this is a person who wrote this book. Okay, I should say this because Western and Chinese signs, people are still learning how they relate to each other. I think the people in this book, when they wrote that particular line, the 4-element module of Western astrology, fire, air, earth, water, it's only one symbology. I deal better with the Panchatattvas, which is the rulership of the planets. I consider Sagittarius and Pisces to be ruled by the ether element and not by the water element. So I can see how this person was connecting these symbols to make the outcome that there's an imaginative and impressionable personality here. I would not say that that's from the Pisces water nourishing the wood. I wouldn't think about it that way, personally. This is part of what we got to deal with when we read about these texts, is that we're breaching new ground here, new territory, because the Western astrology is never blended with the Chinese astrology in history. So we've got to see for ourselves if, well, anyway, I wouldn't say that the water of Pisces nourishes the wood of the rabbit, because they're two different poetic symbols that mean different things. But the outcome of their impression is true, that with the Pisces rabbit, there is an imaginative and impressionable personality. It's true. The Pisces rabbit presents a picture of gentility, beautiful ideas, and soft words. A poetic soul, dependent on others. He will be ingeniously artistic, clever, and even fastidious. Yet, despite his modest and unassuming demeanor, he does not lack foresight or confidence. Actually, his low profile can conceal an observant and astute mind. Pisces rabbit will work hard to stabilize their existence and to deflect problems and conflicts away from themselves and onto others. Non-committal in a pleasant and agreeable way. The Pisces rabbit possesses a certain amount of narcissism and is very concerned about their creature comforts. So it's just the nature of these people, is that they are so run on that Piscean bliss that when it's not there, they can make it seem like it is there in their minds, you know, and they're good at communicating when to other people from their perspective that they didn't fuck up, or that reality doesn't have to change. This is just part of the way they are. When someone confronts them, they have a way of like, oh, come on, like they just have a way of explaining themselves out of a possible issue that they don't want to change, for better or worse. We're dealing with the Pisces, which has a bit of that Neptunian capacity to work with illusions, and they try to press their illusions onto others to sort of like, that didn't happen. Nope, excuse me, just that, I don't know what you're talking about. And sometimes they get so wrapped up in it, Pisces people in general, that they get themselves locked in the illusion when other people are locked into this illusion type thing. The rabbit is also concerned with saving face, with looking confident and like a positive contributor to their group as well. So when something happens where they kind of fucked up or did something wrong or lied, especially, these people should be very careful with lying, because it's a way for them to, at least they might think it's a way for them to adapt and move and evade obstacles. It might bite them in the ass. Although there's some times when playing these threads and this elusive energy can be positive if they do it in a way that's ultimately looking at the bigger empathic picture of, I would just avoid lying energy in general. In general, ultimately, you should be speaking your truth, and you shouldn't have to evade the truth because you're so sensitive to this confrontation energy. So there's that capacity to fall into that. But, you know, generally, it's not about lying necessarily. It's just them, like, moving the blame or revealing where the blame might not really be their complete cause or fault, so that everyone can see that they didn't really, it wasn't their fault that this thing happened, you know. And usually it won't be their fault, but it happens anyway. We all fuck up. But they're non-committal and in a pleasant and agreeable way. It's an interesting way of saying it. I like this reading because it's usually a short little bite. And it's a short window into the nature of the energy that we're going to read in the next reading. Yeah. Okay, so this next one comes from Cosmic Astrology by Mantak Chia and William Yu Wei. So this is Pisces month combined with the year of the rabbit, or a prominent emphasis of rabbit in the Chinese chart. Pisces keyword is faith. The rabbit's keyword is withdraw. It's an interesting condensation of this character. I'm just checking if everything's kosher here. Ah, Nay West, are you asking what I am? I am a Scorpio sun, and I'm the year of the goat, but I would say a closer description of my energy. I mean, I'm the horse on my day. I just lost my page. My day sign is the horse, and I think when you talked, the day branch is kind of how other people see you. It's more of like a 7th house energy that everybody sees. What you really see with me is like the yang water day stem. I'm a very water person. I tend to be very gentle, although yang water is like a concentrated hose of whatever it is that it's interested in, but I like to be diplomatic in that sort of way. So, but yeah, I would say that the energy that you see me coming through generally is Scorpio horse. That's hugely my vibe, I would say. I guess again, I'll just show you this. I think I already did this already, but this is my sort of whole chart. And that's the thing, is that it's, yeah, thanks, Nay West. I would definitely say I deeply show Scorpio horse more than anything. But, you know, people are such an amalgamation of different astrological figures that it's so hard to pinpoint any one. You know, Scorpios can be so demure and contracted and, like, introverted, you know, and, like, are interested in power struggles and these sorts of things. And that's all there with me, especially with the horse, too. But, like, I'm Leo rising, so I'm just like, hi! And, you know, I'm just like a goof. And I got Sagittarius moon in the 5th house. So, you know, it's hard to pinpoint any one of these as my energy specifically. I'm the year of the goat, and it's this woolly guy who's interested in self-healing and psychology and all these things. But what you see here is the horse being like, surprise! How can I impress everybody and make a funky, ridiculous impression while also making myself look like I'm confident and capable? The horse is kind of like the rabbit in a way, but it's a little bit more spontaneous and sort of don't give a fuck. Okay, so, next reading Feel free to ask any other questions. I love to answer them while they come along. Still from Cosmic Astrology. We are looking up Pisces Sun with the rabbit year. Again, Pisces keyword is faith, rabbit keyword is withdraw. This combination has a deep and abiding love for the sophisticated and stylish. There is a good chance that this interest will play some role in the Pisces rabbit's life. Perhaps, for example, as a professional caretaker of meaningful and significant artifacts. Their love for the creative and the artistic will almost certainly be a part of their personal life, in the form of, at minimum, having talent in this area, meaning this artistic appreciation for refined artifacts and things. At the very least, they'll be talented with something in that area, whether it's music or artifacts or what have you. They might necessarily involve themselves with it, but they probably will. That's what this is saying. The Pisces rabbit is a warm and friendly mixture that works. There's a really wonderful joining together of characteristics here. The rabbit, of course, loves the home and family and is almost certain to be a homebody. They are careful and self-effacing. It's like, oh, I'm not that great. You know, they have that kind of vibe. Like, oh, come now. I'm nothing special. And it's cute. And people love it. Their cleverness will make it very possible for them to cash in on their talent in one form or another. The artistic ability of the Pisces rabbit will almost certainly be profitable. There's a natural and resolute aversion to conflict from both sides of the Pisces rabbit. And Pisces rabbits will rarely be found in altercations. Pisces and rabbit both don't like altercations or, Most of these people do not have a vengeful bone in their body and view such feelings as insignificant. It's a beautiful sort of wisdom there. Pisces rabbits have nothing in their combination to hold them back from accomplishing great things. There is a noble aspect to this combination. The Pisces, of course, has a sponge for a mind and can absorb nearly anything. The homely nature of the rabbit is put to good use by allowing for time to set goals. And there's an ambition to the rabbit that also works well for Pisces. The rabbit wants to do well, and it wants to be seen as doing well. And that can put a lot of the sleepiness that we often find in Pisces and the emotional sensitivity and things. It puts it to good. It wakes it up a bit and charges it in an ambitious way. Now, with regard to romance, this combination is old-fashioned. It is true that they are romantic, but they do not sit around waiting for their prince or princess to show up. This individual needs a lot of support and affection. They often need someone to do their talking for them because they are so timorous that they are prone to getting tongue-tied. Laying on lots of TLC, tender loving care, is necessary to have a successful relationship with this person. One does not find the Pisces rabbit as Mr. or Mrs. Personality. They are not sociable and are not backslappers. Hell would, at the very least, have a coating of frost over it before this combination went dashing around sowing wild oats or any other sort of grains. Pisces rabbits stick to themselves, and what they want for a partner is someone they can have breakfast with and exchange comparisons of how well they slept. That's kind of cute. They're very interested in comfort, and they want to keep to themselves in the way they keep to their comfort. And they just love talking with another person about, like, that sort of thing. It's kind of cool. I have a Pisces rabbit in my life who I fucking just love to pieces. And I can see a lot of this in them. Just such a sweetheart. And this one in particular is an evolved, very wise fellow. Relationships. For compatibility, Scorpio or Capricorn dogs can invest the Pisces rabbit's life with plenty of new ideals. Dog always works well with rabbit. They are secret best friends. Furthermore, a Cancer rabbit will make a good marriage partner. That's interesting. Usually it doesn't say that the animals get along great with each other, but some of them can. I know two snakes get along well, and I guess Cancer rabbit with Pisces rabbit works out. It's more about the heaven stem there. Like if you're born in the exact same year, that Chinese astrology generally advises against being with someone in the same exact year as you, because the energy is so similar. There's no compensation. Something to keep in mind. I guess I should say, you can really go out with anybody if the figures in the Western chart and the figures in the Chinese chart ultimately, in some place or another, work towards some soul fusion that works harmoniously and positively. Can't just read this, even if you're going out with like a rooster and you're a rabbit. Although that's asking a lot. I'm in the year of the goat, and I've been with ox girls, and it works out. But I can see that it's ultimately, if you really love somebody, you'll stick with them no matter what. And that's probably how I should end that. Excellent, peaceful, and quiet companions for the Pisces rabbit are Taurus, Cancer, and Scorpio boars as well. Now, family life. At the top of the list in Pisces rabbits' lives are their children. These people are very protective of their children. Some might say too protective. In the same way that they're very protective of themselves, they might be a little too protective of their children. They are mildly strict in private, but they are careful never to say anything in public that might soil the image of their family. Pisces rabbit mothers and fathers dearly love their kids and do things like read to them and help with their homework, even the mathematics. The Pisces rabbit is a family-oriented person with traditional family values. This means, of course, having children. The trappings continue in a snowball fashion. All of the above means that a home is needed to bring up the family. That home will be very tastefully decorated. And it's the comfort of the surroundings of both Pisces and rabbit there. In addition to being comfortable, it will be secure and in the proper sort of neighborhood. These are upward bound individuals, and how they present themselves is of value and importance. The peace and quiet theme must continue because of the rabbit image, and as a rule, this means a home in a small town or the countryside. As for their livelihood, Pisces rabbits will work hard always, but their timid character may lead them to a job that is routine instead of a high-powered job filled with stress. They are hard bosses to work for because they are highly rigid and strict and sort of uptight about certain things. They often seem removed from others, but this is generally a defense mechanism to insulate themselves. This combination is easy to get along with and mentally sharp. They are, moreover, shy, and it is this trait that has the potential to hold them back. Their nerves and unwillingness to put themselves forward are liabilities professionally. In the workplace, as nearly everywhere, They are overly conscious of status and how things look. Pisces is just always looking for the beauty, beauty, beauty. Where is it? Where is it? Beauty, beauty, beauty. If I can help it, I'm going to just keep things beautiful. And I'll really even just turn an elusive, an illusionary blind eye when things are not as beautiful as I would like. And it's almost like, you know, they would rather just keep dealing with these abrasive things than confronting them just, because they got these nerves. But if they really get berated for a long time with one particular thing, some guy in the office that just is always picking on them or something like that, they're just going to leave. Sorry, I'll find something that's, and a lot of times they have this sense, this peaceful sense. I will find a comfortable, blissful existence somewhere. But there are times when they've got the perfect job. They're right where they need to be. All they got to do is tell that guy to fuck off. You know, sometimes they could use a little bit more of that. But again, it's not in their nature. It's not in their energy, you know. What they would probably do instead is curry favor with someone else and then get that other person. If they really help that friend, the friend might be someone who's got the balls to come along and say, you know, you're kind of a dick, dude. And like the Pisces Rabbit might make the whole office like, yeah, fuck that. You don't have to be an asshole like that. But sometimes assholes just find a way to tell the boss that, like, I'm what you need in this company, so you're going to keep me, even though everyone in the company is saying I'm an asshole because of that little wussy Pisces Rabbit or whatever that person might say, you know. Just because that one person has got everyone against me, you need me on this company because I'm what you need to be this asshole. And if the boss agrees, the Pisces Rabbit's got to deal with that person. And especially if this whole thing happens and that person, that asshole, knows that the Pisces Rabbit started it, you know, these are the kind of ugly things that the Pisces Rabbit is just so not willing to deal with. God bless them. But there's, you know, they're usually smart enough to see all of that long before it even happens and to find the right way to deal with this type of character. They are smart with that. You know, we can't just not give them credit. The Pisces Rabbit is very smart. They think way down the line about any action that they're going to do in order to deal with these confrontations that they find uncomfortable. Thank you, Mae West. Zen is so totally my thing. I really love to be, my water day master. I love the Zen idea. I completely understand that too. I would love to know, are you, Mae West, I think you told me that you were a rabbit. I'm the year of the goat. I wonder if you mean the year of the rabbit, and I'm the year of the goat, so we're in the triad. So I love rabbits. I love year of the rabbit. And I'd love to know what your sun sign is too. I agree. My 22-year-old daughter is Scorpio sun. Yeah, we're a bit of a handful. Oh wow. Yeah. Let's see. I wonder if, yeah, you must be talking about the rabbit here. Pisces Rabbit is basically tolerates being uncomfortable. They will. And that's part of a skill that they have, is to tolerate being uncomfortable. But sometimes they make the load much heavier than it needs to be. Even if it's just like a masochistic, or what's the word? Like a glutton for punishment type vibe on the part of the Pisces Rabbit, particularly pertaining to the Pisces. But it all depends on other karmas and things like that. I mean, you know, if we're talking about like an Aries rising Pisces sun, well, that's the 12th house, so like we're dealing with like a Leo rising Pisces sun. That'd be Pisces in the 8th house. A Leo rising might be able to deal with these things with a bit more of the confrontation, you know? It's just all these factors that we got to consider when we're dealing with these tones of character in any reading. Now, we've got one more reading to go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got The New Astrology by Suzanne White. Suzanne White is a lady who kind of takes her informal sort of... She usually just riffs off of the reading we just read by Mantak Chia. You'll notice that there's the same thread and pattern. We must always take into consideration that Chinese astrology, the concept of mixing Chinese with Western astrology, it's something very new. It's something that the world has never touched on. So always keep in mind that these are informal, one person's digested experience of these signs as they relate to each other. It's just good to be impartial about our textual resources because, as I like to say, you know, like when we think about Vedic astrology that I'm into, even Western astrology, all the figures of Mars and all the 12 signs, they've been digested for like 3,000 years, and people have been thinking about them for that long. So there's a bit more credibility to anything that comes from old texts in relation to Western and Vedic astrology, and Chinese astrology in its own regard. The Chinese astrology has been going on for about like 3,000 years as well. But how the two relate to each other has never happened except within like the last 100 years. So when we read a reading like this, it's very important to be impartial and to keep that in mind. Although she's generally pretty good. I've never, like, every now and then I just read something that's like, But she's generally very good. You know, it's just good to be objective about our textual resources. As much as we want them to just be guaranteed to be perfect, the attitude we should take is that we're all in this field trying to digest these themes together. Now, this is the Pisces Cat. The cat is, of course, like I said, the Korean astrology version of the rabbit. And it's interesting when we read her interpretation of the signs because she gives a bit more credo to the suaveness of the cat figure, the rabbit. Because the rabbit really is a figure who, I mean, the Pisces softens it quite a bit, and it's a soft character, the cat, the rabbit. But it's got a suaveness. It's a cat, you know? It's kind of got like it does what it wants sort of thing, and it finds ways of making what it wants happen. So that's something that we got to consider, and she does a good job of integrating that consciousness into the Pisces rabbit figure. The key word for Pisces is I believe. The key word for the cat is I retreat. Does the cat eat up the fish? No. This lively combination has a happy beginning and equally felicitous ending. Pisces' sensitivity blends You know, I just want to say Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and it is considered to be dealing with the end of things, the end of karmas and stuff. And the cat is yin wood, which is at the very start of the cycle of Chinese astrology, so it's spring energy. So I think that's why she's saying this. I just wanted to make that point. This lovely combination has a happy beginning with the cat nature and an equally felicitous ending with the Pisces nature. Pisces' sensitivity blends swimmingly well with the cat's love of hearth and home, caution, and modesty. The Piscean born in a cat year will probably end a long and productive career as a guardian of refinement and elegance. He or she is almost assured of having artistic talents, and, moreover, can count on knowing how to put those same talents to practical and profitable use. Natural noblesse belongs to this cat subject. There is little the expanded Pisces mind cannot receive, and with the sensible cat to keep the fluid fish in dry dock for at least part of his life, much can be accomplished by this character. Kind of means like, this person is just so juicy with the desire to be blissful and to just be close. Like Venus is exalted in Pisces, and there's a Venus element to this person. But the sensible cat will keep them working for a large part of their life to make sure that they can enjoy themselves. Both of these signs are noted for their abilities to avoid conflict, to flee confrontation, and to eschew revenge or pettiness. No unnatural encumbrances impair this person's progress. The Pisces cat gets precisely where he or she wants to go without ever entering the traffic pattern. This person remains circumspect most of their lives. Pisces cats are silent until they know their audience. When they feel secure, they speak up. They're not very sociable, and they shrink from fashion and trends. Simplicity and down-to-earthness is their aim. Complexity, their enemy. The Pisces cat is a seeker of order and reason, whose definite personal views are his or her security blanket. What strikes one as indecisiveness on the part of Pisces cat stems from an unwillingness to participate in anything that doesn't jibe with their definite way of thinking. There's like a crystallized, definite way of how the world ought to go and how they ought to be and how things ought to go. And, so they can be indecisive when dealing with things like, I don't know if that fits with my conception of reality. It's a Neptunian thing, right? It's also part of the aristocrat of the cat, just thinking like, I have a good refined sense of how reality ought to be, and this doesn't quite fit it. Pisces cats are often, either directly or indirectly, responsible for the aggrandizement of someone they feel is more worthy than they. Glory to the Pisces cat can be a handicap, an embarrassment. Nonetheless, it's part of their sort of self-effacing nature. Nonetheless, many natives of this sign do gain fame. They are incisive observers of every aspect of human life, and frequently know how to interpret what they see in a unique manner. They can be witty and don't hesitate to use their humor to get a point across. Never brash or forward, the Pisces cat tiptoes along. Little cat feet applies nicely here. The Pisces born in the cat may not be particularly creative and can be guilty of idea snitching. But the degree of admiration he can proffer and the seriousness he employs makes startling innovations seem unnecessary. This cat's ambition is discovery or disclosure. He will want to clarify those things he sees as murky. He understands secrecy and knows how to use discretion to his or her own advantage. In the worldly sense, the Pisces cat is a bit of a loner. He is a home-dependent soul who clings to all that is familiar and safe. He or she functions well in community living situations. This person can be accused of snobbishness, as they tend to be smug and self-satisfied. They abhor sudden shifts or lifestyle changes and treat them as though they were earthquakes. Now, in love, the Pisces cat is not exactly a warm-hearted, outgoing, glad-handed, or God forbid, promiscuous person. Usually, these people keep their own counsel about what they are looking for in a mate, and can hang out alone for years before they have satisfied their desire for Prince or Princess Charming. The white charger image dies hard with tradition-loving people like Pisces Rabbit. He or she is, moreover, a born romantic, and nobody is ever perfect enough to fill the ideal. Your lover or mistress is a Pisces cat. Lucky you. Blah, let me put it this way. Is your lover or mistress a Pisces cat? Lucky you. You should have your doors and windows boarded up so that the soft guy you have chosen... You should have your doors and windows boarded up so the soft, tough guy you have chosen doesn't escape through the cracks. You will be required to furnish boatloads of reassurance and tenderness. You will be called upon to serve as spokesman for this sometimes timid person. But behind the scenes, he or she will be very likely the soul of your life. Don't let your Pisces cat languish without your cozy company. He will never cause a scene or scandal, but when you get home, he may be out for keeps. Meaning if you enjoy yourself without, if you enjoy your cozy company without them, they're constantly looking for, like, it's like a cat or a dog energy with these people, the rabbit energy, the cat energy especially, the mammal heart warmth closeness. If they're not in every moment being sort of fulfilled in that desire of theirs, especially if they see that you're consciously, like, let me have my space, Pisces cat. You know, if you do that, like, all the time, they're just probably, you know, they won't cause a fuss, but you might come home one day and they'll be gone. Now, home and family. The family urge is very strong in the Pisces cat. He or she will want to have and to nurture children. In order to carry out this dream, she will, of course, need a home. Count on the Pisces cat to insist on a well-appointed, comfortable, and safe house in a good neighborhood. These people are upwardly mobile and depend greatly for their image on where and how they live. This person wants peaceful surroundings and will probably prefer the country to the city. The Pisces cat parent is primarily interested in his or her child's personal welfare. The Pisces cat will probably overprotect their kids, but will be quietly firm and rather rigid in their demands. They don't like things that protrude from respectability. Pisces cat parents will insist on manners. They are tender and loving with kids. He may not take them on roller coasters, but he'll be happy to read them a bedtime story. If you have a Pisces cat child, you will notice very early on that they don't like noise or commotion. He or she will not be the kind of baby you throw into the air for squealing purposes. This child needs a gentle environment and comfort in order to grow up healthy and strong. They must be taught never to blame their own shortcomings on others. Pisces cat kids also need encouragement so that they won't grow up timid. Tell this child how attractive he or she is. Pisces cats love to be admired, and it draws a natural wellspring of assurance and buoyant desire to move forward in themselves. Now, Pisces Cat Profession. A certain reticence may keep this clever and agreeable person from rising in the ranks. The Pisces cat is extremely nervous and worries a lot about status and appearance in society. Work doesn't frighten this person a bit, but sticky involvement or possible conflict does. Because of this retiring quality, the Pisces cat may have to choose a well-paid but routine job over a dashing career full of ups and downs. Now, the Pisces cat boss is rather serious and rather severe, as this person suffers from acute vulnerability to stress and strains. He or she may camouflage sensitivity under a facade of coldness. Although this distant attitude may be false, it is nonetheless the only contact the Pisces cat can allow. Independent work suits the Pisces cat. They go along at their own sweet pace without prodding. As an employee, this person is quiet and reserved, diligent enough but not always willing to initiate tasks. Jobs that might please the Pisces cat are mathematician, computer jock, art curator, translator, writer, wine grower, landscape architect. These kinds of talented, skillful sorts of things. They like a place where they can hone their own beloved, passionate abilities and to be able to consistently and securely put them somewhere to someone's positive use. Some famous Pisces cats include, this is Pisces with the year of the cat specifically. This includes Albert Einstein, Harry Belafonte, Peter Fonda, Tommy Tune, Irma Bombeck, Anais Nin, George Plimpton, Zero Mostel, and Hubert Givenchy. I only know like Albert Einstein and Harry Belafonte, and Peter Fonda, I'm thinking is that guy from the 60s who did an awesome movie that I can't think of the damn name of. Peter Fonda. Am I thinking of the right guy? Easy Rider. The guy who did the motorcycle, the two guys on the motorcycle. I love that movie. I hope that's the guy I'm thinking of. If so, that's awesome. That's an awesome example of Pisces Rabbit. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's been a long day. I was supposed to start at 3 o'clock, and I had to figure out what was going on with the audio on my video, so I didn't get working on this. I worked on that from 3 until 6, and then I started this video series at 6, and it was a long one today. But rock and roll. You gotta do what you gotta do. I enjoy this. I really love being in conversation with my beloved community of people who are mutually interested in discovering the constructive potentials of combining Chinese astrology with Western astrology. Yeah, and we're hacking at the bit here, folks. The more we talk about it, the more we contribute to a mutual YouTube database where we're all talking about our experiences with these signs, the more clear the combination of these cultural tropes are going to illuminate themselves in our experience and our awareness. And that's what I'm trying to do here, you know what I mean? So thank you for being a part of it. I guess I'll check out if we've got any comments. October 20th, 1987, you're the rabbit, you sweetheart. I'm so glad you told me, Nay West. I love the rabbit energy. I'm a Scorpio, born in the year of the goat, and I have known a Capricorn goat, Capricorn rabbit, but she was like a double rabbit, rabbit year and rabbit day. She was actually wood rabbit day. Oh God, she was like my deepest love that I've ever had. she was a Capricorn sun with that double rabbit energy. And I love the rabbit energy. It's so mystical and so unapologetically aware of the nature of humans and of how, like, the rabbit is so sensitive to what is good for the both in the relationship. It's like this cat consciousness that, like, it's like a kitty cat that comes along. I got 4 cats in my house, and it's like sometimes I swear that if I'm in a bad funk and I sit on my couch and I'm just in this awful place, I look to the left of me and there's one of my cats just like, you okay, man? Is everything good? It's just so naturally aware of vibrations. The cats in general, but particularly too, like, my eyes are red just because I'm so tired. As a goat person, I fall deeply in love with rabbit energy. I just can't get enough of it, particularly to a Pisces rabbit. I have a friend in my life, like I said, who is a Pisces Sun with rabbit daymaster. And the energy is just, you can see all these themes and tones that we're talking about, but they're so just fucking lovely. They're just such sweethearts, and they just won't let it go, the sweetness about them, no matter who they get involved with. The guy I'm thinking about is the singer and drummer for a band local to Oshawa. They're called Crownlands. They're doing really good now. They're fucking huge. They're playing with, like, Sam Roberts now, and they just did, like, a tour of the States with, like, Primus. They're signed under Universal Music. Good, very good. Both of them are very good buddies of mine. The drummer slash singer who writes the poetry and the lyrics of their music, and it's very complex music, and it's just very deep, mystical poetry. The drummer slash singer, having these multiple talents that he's slow, diligently refined and crafted and created with his time in his home with his family. That's just the nature of this guy, is that he keeps his close connections and he refines the shit out of his particular driven skill and talent in his career. And he had a buddy, Kevin, who's the other guy in the band, is much more a harder guy. Harder in the sense that he's, like, willing to press against the resistance of reality so that the Pisces cat person doesn't have to as much. Oh, cool. Sweet, Nay. That's awesome. Rabbit, so it's rabbit year with dragon day. That's beautiful energy too. Lots of wood. And the dragon is in the wood part, but it's water triangle, and it's a yang earth energy. So that's a strong energy. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. That's okay. I love talking about this stuff anyway. Dog is good. If dog is your day and rabbit is your year, those two work well together because they're secret best friends. So the rabbit in you wants a life of calm comfort and, fastidious security of emotional comforts. And the dog can be a bit tougher, although the dog wants that comfort as well. Sometimes we have to be tough and, slam our fist on the table and say, this is what I need for my comfort. And the dog will do that. So the dog in you probably gives the toughness, a bit of the toughness needed for the rabbit year to deeply enjoy itself. It's a good combination. And I should say, Nay, that I'm the horse, and the horse is enshrined with the dog. And I'm the goat, and the goat is enshrined with... I'm the goat year that's enshrined with your rabbit year. You seem like a sweetheart, and I'm glad that I met you and that you're on my channel. I wish I actually knew you in person. And thank you for contributing to our conversation. Feel free to join anytime. I wanted to end about what I was just saying about these guys' crown lands. My buddy Cody is this Pisces Sun Rabbit Day, and he's well loved all over. And when you deal with him in a band, he's in a band, and I'm in a band around here in Oshawa. They're huge now, and it's tougher to get a hold of them. But when they were first getting out there, one of the reasons that people just fucking really lifted these guys up was because Kevin, the guitarist, was a driven guy who had to be tough when he needed to be, but ultimately Cody just had a way of smoothing any altercation over. They're a beautiful, beautiful combination. Sweet, Nay. Thank you. I appreciate it. But anyway, that's just some of the glories, you know. For anybody with any combination can be lifted up to some high place. My friend Cody from Crownlands, who's a Pisces Sun, Rabbit Day Master, climbed very high and is fucking huge now because, partly in part, because of his sweetheart nature. This sweetheart nature that's also savvy and knows how to make himself look like a sweetheart, and he is. He's just genuinely that empathic. Like he was going to school for transpersonal psychology to help people, because he was just that type of guy. But he's also talented musically. Kevin provided a perfect foil for his musical talent, and so he went in that direction. And so I just know that part of why those guys are doing so well is because Cody is just so amiable. Cody, the Pisces Sun Rabbit Day. He's also a year of the boar, so that's like both wood types and both sensitive and sympathetic, you know. So anyway, you know, I'm going to do one of these days, I'm going to start talking about, I think music is a perfect foil for describing the interconnections and interactions of these energies between each other. Because music is like, it's like an embodiment of our energy, you know? It's the way we are musically is like this energy radiating from our neurological nature, our unconscious, and it is what it is. The other people in the band have to deal with your nature. So I think music is a perfect foil for describing the interrelationships between these animal signs and sun signs. And one of these days, you can bet that I'm going to be talking about, as a musician, my perspective of how some bands work very well together from their astrological dynamics, and also why some crumble because of their dynamics. I'll be talking about that soon. Anyway, this has been a long video in regards to Pisces Sun. Thank you to my friend, my awesome friend, Nay West, for being a part of it today and joining us. I'm Dustin Cormier. This has been another episode of How to Rock Spirit. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Whenever that is, I'm going to try to start making it so it's like I'll let you guys know a week before that it happens. And check out this little square that you're going to see here to see the original video of this, where we talk about how Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius and Pisces, comes through the nature of the rabbit. Peace and love, folks. Thanks for watching.